questions. I suck. What are you up to thesis days? It's supposed to be what are you up to these days? Not much. Okay, have tracked down an agent. Talk about the worst day of your life. Well, this is in junior high. My friends go to this park, this tree-filled sort of valley, during lunchtime, and they gave it some retarded name. And I have no idea why, but we were in junior high, so not much can be logically explained for actions of kids in junior high. And they'd always go there during lunch, and I never really came along until I asked for them to show me where it was. My one friend was like, okay, sure. So him and another started walking during lunch break. I followed them. We got fairly far away from the school. Pretty much far enough so that we wouldn't make it back when lunch break was over. And at one point, one of my friends was just like, go to the other one. And they started running and turning the other way. And that was at the exact moment where I was getting my lunch out because I decided I should eat it on the way if we weren't going to be back in time. And they tried to ditch me, but I caught up and I grabbed one of them. And I wound up punching the other one in the arm several times. And I'm not really proud of myself at all for that. And it takes a lot for me to act out violently on a person. It just seems so insignificant right now, at this point in my life, because, I mean, honestly, like, if they do something like that, would they be that good of friends to begin with? There's this overwhelming sense of betrayal, and pretty much just betrayal. It's misleading sense that just followed me for a while after that. Because it's like, if you didn't want me going to that place, then sure, you just tell me you don't want me to be there, not leave me on some wild fucking goose chase. But yeah, I'm good friends with those guys now, because really, are we at all the same people we were in junior high? I don't think so. There are a lot of douchebags that turned out to be actually fantastic people. And, yeah, we never really talked about it again. One of them agrees that he was a big douche in junior high, and I know I was. Everyone is. That right now is when my subscribers in junior high just click the unsubscribe button. Whoops. But yeah, I love those guys now. Zed Glassman, what have you been doing the last 6 months? Eating, shitting, breathing, sleeping, a little bit of drinking. Music. I've been working really hard on my music, and it's picking up a little. We've been working on our demo, And Unkindness, I write the material and do the vocals, keyboard. When we're recording, we'll be doing, I'll be the one playing bass, some trumpet, and some violin. And the other band, LOVE, Link. I really hope that was the right direction. My guitarist Laurel writes all the material and she sings for it. And although they sound similar, they have completely different tones and feelings, in my opinion. This is a boring video. Middle name? Yeah, I have a middle name. If you could be anyone else, who would you be? I don't fucking know, because if I could be anyone else, I don't think I would. My life is pretty interesting in my opinion. I'm pretty glad being who I am. Yeah, I had to write all these down because there's no way my mom would let me use the printer in a lightning storm. Which is pretty much ended now. But there was still lightning going outside and I was carrying around a tripod. Yeah, because the garage is not attached to the house, so I can make noise! Because my parents are sleeping. Can I hump your kalimba? Yeah, I said I don't know what that instrument is in the last video. It's a kalimba, if I'm pronouncing that right. And, sure, yeah, you could hump my kalimba. Yeah, go for it. If you could change one thing about society, what would it be? The amount of people. I'm not sure if that... I guess that's societal. I would just have there be less people. I mean, the good thing about having lots and lots of people is there's so many possibilities of combinations of what the person can be that we're getting a lot of good outcomes for people. Well, not a lot of them, but without there being so many people, there wouldn't be as many, of course. Like, 1 in every how many people turns out to be a genius, right? So, I guess it's just speeding up things a little faster by there being a lot of people. But at the same time, the world's being fucked over. I'm not a genius with the statistics on it, but we're making a pretty big impact on the Earth right now, and that's not a great thing. And plus, if there weren't, I mean, people are killing a lot of animals and shit over stupid reasons, and if there were less people doing it, of course, less animals would die. And if people are using food as an excuse to kill animals, less people to feed would mean less animals dead. There are other reasons, but this video is going to be long. Do you find the Bear Force guys believable Europeans? Sure. Do you want to be a Bear Force guy? No. What about a European? I really like British accents. But I don't know. How awesome is Sweden? From what I've heard, it's pretty awesome, I guess. I don't know. Awesome. Awesome, right? Yeah, sure. Why the hell did I subscribe to you? Jesse, I actually do this with a couple of my friends. If they're logged onto their YouTube account and I'm at their house, I will go to my page and subscribe them to me. So I think that's why, because I don't know if I'd be able to convince you to subscribe to me, but I'm pretty sure I've done that, if not with my Unkindness page. Yep, I'm an ass. Would you do a barrel roll? If I weren't in my garage, yes I would. I I would use the boost to get through, and I don't even think I need to make that reference. People already get it. Mysterioskull, I can pronounce his name finally. Is there anything fluffier than a cloud? There's lots of things fluffier than a cloud. I wouldn't consider a cloud really fluffy unless you're thinking about its fluffiness visually. If you're talking about texture, you can't really fucking feel it. So it's not even fluffy, it's just absent. How many hookers would you receive a blowjay from? Blowjob. How many? Well, I mean, like, if I was like friends with the hooker or something, then like however many I fucking wanted, so long as there was no STDs involved. But not like random hookers. I can do fairly fine sexually without having to pay someone. Who is the most annoying person in the world? You are. CC Cat says, do you know who I am? If you're just a YouTuber, then I guess you're CC Cat, but if you know me in person, then I kind of feel bad for not knowing you, or knowing who you are. So, no, I don't know who you are. I probably could have like checked your profile and found out if it had your name on it or something, but I'm just a little too lazy for that. Have you read Watchmen, and are you looking forward to the movie? I haven't read Watchmen, but it looks pretty sweet from the trailer. I'm looking forward to the movie as in I'm going to watch it probably in theaters. Like, I mean, I go to the theaters fairly often, and it looks like it's going to be a fairly entertaining movie. I didn't like 300 as much as the rest of the world did, but it could be pretty good. It looks visually entertaining from the trailer. Are you still taking correspondence next year? No, I'm not. I'm going to be doing evening courses at a college, but I need to sign up for that right away. Otherwise I won't be able to. And it's pretty sweet, because I'd be doing it 3 nights a week. So like Tuesday, Thursday evenings, and like from 8 till 1 on Saturdays. So that's 3 days a week for 2 months, and I have 1 course done. I seriously think that school should be set up in a similar way like that. Work on 1 course at a time and then move on to the next one. It would work better for the teachers and it would work better for the students, but we have these year-long courses. Doesn't make much sense. What are you doing? What are you going to do after you finish high school? I don't know. I'm planning on having a career in music. Of course, that doesn't just fall into my lap, but I'm going to be working towards that. And I don't even know when I'm going to get high school finished, because I only have my grade 10 credits. And if I stayed in school, I'd be going into grade 12, because I dropped out like right before fucking semester ended, before Christmas last year, because I was really stubborn about being kicked out of the musical because that principal was a bitch. I explained it in another video. And yeah, I guess it depends how fast I finish these courses and what's happening at the time. What shampoo do you use? I don't really buy shampoo. People have commented on my hair saying it looks nice. I use shampoo. My dad buys Head and Shoulders, so I just steal that off of him, and it seems to work fine. But what probably makes the difference is Tresemme conditioner, which I am picky about. Haven't really tried much else, but it seems to work fine, so. What's your favorite video game? the Half-Life franchise. I think that it is a very well-made video game. I'm not even that big into video games. I'll only play, like, Half-Life and Halo, really. I mean, like, my brother bought Grand Theft Auto 4. I can play it anytime I want, but I don't. I'm just not that interested in it. I couldn't imagine just going through the campaign. I'd just get bored at the repetition. Because, like, I'd rather just spend 20 minutes shooting up the city and then turning it off. I could go into detail about it, but I won't. On average, how often do you think about the existence or non-existence of a religion slash deity slash god slash etc. in your day-to-day life? I try to apply that whenever I can, basically, because I mean, people are always arguing about what the right answer is, and the only way you're ever going to find out is to try to look at it objectively. Try to look at it from more than one side. Like, I'm an atheist, but there'll be times when I'm like, could that be God's power? And I'm always wrong. It's always no. But I try, just in case. And the way I see it, if there's a God, he, or whatever the fuck he is, if there's a God, then he exists beyond logic, because he created a world where he cannot possibly exist. And so even calling him a he makes it contradictory, because that's us personifying him. It's complicated, but if he existed beyond logic, then it wouldn't even be a he, it would be like something that we cannot possibly comprehend. Yeah. But I don't think that there's a God. Because, like, probability-wise, in a universe where there's just particles and atoms and molecules interacting with each other, just think of it as, like, one big fucking ocean of molecules. Since that exists, because I mean, like, it is a fucking ocean. There's no real vast amount of space between things. I'm not touching nothing right now. I'm touching air. The air molecules. They're just transparent for our vision. Because if they weren't, we wouldn't be able to see shit. We'd only be able to see right in front of our eyes, and that would be sort of pointless. But in a world where, in a universe, or whatever the fuck, where it's just particles and atoms and molecules interacting with each other in different ways for who knows why, the possibility of there being life would be like, what, 1 in a quadrillion. And since there's an infinite amount of galaxies and planets, then it has to happen. If the whole world stopped and listened to you, what would you say? Fuck. I'd probably say something like, stop fucking up the world. I don't know, this is a perfectly good question, but I'm giving stupid answers for it. Shit. Whatever. How do you like being a figment of my imagination? It's good. It's pretty cool. Are you going to university? If so, where? I don't think I'm going to university. If I were, it would be, I don't know, if I were to do anything like post-secondary, it would be like Vancouver Film School. It's not really university, but yeah. There's a cock in my ass says, ass or titties? Ass. Ass. Because, like, I don't really find girls attractive, so the only titties on a guy would be, like, really, really fat ones. So, ass. Who's your fave singer? Who's your favorite singer? I'm sure it was favorite on the comment, but I abbreviated it. Connor Oberst is my favorite singer. He doesn't, he's getting better at singing, pitch-wise. He's hitting the notes better, but I find myself liking his old material better. It's not that he's putting any less soul or energy into it. I'm just a sucker for indie sounding things, like indie movies and shit. Just shows the grittiness and effort. Even though there's probably more effort in his new material, I don't know. I guess it's just preference. What was the most times you jacked off in one day? The most times I've jacked off in a day would most likely be when I was very, very intoxicated on, I'm probably not allowed to say on YouTube. And at that point I wouldn't have been keeping count. So I have no idea. I don't remember. Do you have a celebrity crush, and if so, who? I was fond of Jared Leto. I watched the trailer for that new movie about him being the assassin of, like, John Lennon, and he got pretty... He gained a bunch of weight for that role, so I'm not even sure anymore. But if we were still in, like, the year 2000, then that would be it. Oh, and Jeremy Irons has a fantastic, sexy voice, I must say. So, like, I don't know. I haven't really seen much of his body, except from, like, the movie Lolita. He was in Aragon. That was the only reason I watched that. But enough about him. Do you consider yourself bi, straight, or gay? Guess! Yeah, I like penis. If you consider yourself straight, have you ever had sexual feelings towards a guy at all? Well, I guess I can't answer that question because I don't consider myself straight. Should have worded it better, more properly. I don't know. Irony is what that was right there. Me fucking up on my sentence as I'm criticizing one's grammar. I'm done my questions, and I'm done my mystery drink. Good night.